So here we are tonight. This is training class number 3, and what we're going to go over tonight, we're going to briefly recap what we did in the new consultant training class number 2, which basically was how you hold a facial or skincare class. We went through the particulars of that, trying to bring it back to the basics. I think some of the key points would be during the class, we talked about how I would advise a minimum of 7 times to talk about people's second appointment for their checkup facial, so that they understand that that's the norm for what we do. And unless we tell people that, they don't realize that. So you can talk about it at several different points, but one being, when you assign them their skincare regimen. That then at your second facial, which is about 2 weeks from now, we will check everything to make sure that this is the correct formula for you, and several other times during the class. We also, at the end of the class, go over the travel roll-up bag, and we're going to do that again briefly, because I think it's very important to show people, sets of the skincare. One of the biggest things that we want to do for people is to get them on Mary Kay Skincare, because we do have such good products and we do have great skincare regimens. And so we want to make it easy for them to be able to get those. So in a minute, we'll just review the travel roll-up bag. And I'll send out all of the handouts again in an email, either tonight or tomorrow morning, that I refer to. So I will send out again, in case anyone missed it, the flyer that talks about what's in each pocket in the travel roll-up bag. I'm also will send out again the hostess reward sheet, and we'll go over that in a little bit more detail. So we have just done our skincare class, and so what we want to do is let people know that we're going to be closing them individually in just a few moments, but we wanted to take the opportunity to go through and recap with them what we have available in the travel roll-up bag. Okay, so you might say something to them like, so if you want to look as good and feel as good as you do tonight, what that means is you're going to want everything in this beautiful travel roll-up bag. Okay. There are 4 pockets. These pockets are TSA approved, so if you travel, you can pull them off, okay, and put them in the bins to go through the screening machines. The other thing that you can do is pull them off and put them in the 4 corners of your suitcase, and then this black portion lays flat on top, and when you get to your destination, you can go ahead and put it all together again. It's got a nice hook, so you can hang it up in the bathroom and have easy access. So we're going to review the prices of all the sets in here. And let's see here, I'm going to do a shared screen. And to find the one. There we go. Can you see that, Ann?
Yes.
Okay. So then what we go through is that in pocket 1 is your basic skincare. And I'd advise you, when I do this too, I have the cheat sheet out there. I have this printed, what you're seeing, because I don't have this memorized. So in pocket 1, we have our basic skincare. So with that, you get the cleanser and the moisturizer that you tried tonight. And then you're able to get either a CC cream or a mineral powder foundation, whichever they would prefer. So that is actually a $64 value, okay? But we'll do this pocket for $59. And in addition to that, if you would choose to, you can add a foundation brush, either the round one for the mineral foundation or the curved edge one for the liquid foundation. You can add either of those depending on which foundation you're choosing, for $5. Okay? Now in pocket 2, we have intermediate skincare. So that would be adding the day and night solution from the Miracle Set. So that would normally retail for $64, but we have a sale price on that of $59. Okay? You can also, to that pocket, if you would choose to, add the satin lip set for only $10. Normally that would retail for $20, so you're saving 50%. And if you choose to buy both those pockets, pocket 1, pocket 2, you get those for $100, and they normally would be $128 value. In pocket 3, we have the Microdermabrasion set. That would normally, the 2 products in there, which is the Refine and then the Pore Minimizer, would retail for $57. The sale price is $49. And so, again, you can do all 3 pockets if you would choose to for $140. It's normally $185 value. And in that pocket, if you would choose to, you can add a lip gloss for $10, your choice of color. Pocket 4 is the I Love It All, and that is the firming eye cream, oil-free eye makeup remover, mascara, which has a value of $59. Or you can get the I Want It All, and you get all 4 pockets for the price of $199. Normally it would retail for $247, but you'll get a deal, $199. Now, some of you might ask, now, why are we going to, give such a discount on things? We want people on the skincare. We know if they get on all of these skincare items, what's going to happen is that they're going to want to refill those, or they'll buy again when they run out of their products. So they're going to reorder with you. So it's going to set you up for future sales. Okay. And like I said, just feel free to take that pocket or that flyer with you that tells about all the pockets. Now, let's see. Let's go back here. Let me see if I can figure out how to come back to you. Now, let's see. Shared screen. Stop sharing. There we go. Hello, there we are again. All right. So we've gone through that. Now what I would recommend is, like if we have 3 or 4 people at the skincare class, what I do is I actually take people to a little different area. If I'm in the dining room, I might take them on into the kitchen, or I might take them into the living room, and close at a separate place. Number one, it gives you kind of that intimacy with that individual person. It makes them feel more special, that they're getting your individual attention. The other thing would be, most of us, we don't like to talk a lot about money in front of other people. And invariably, there may be somebody at the class who really can't afford what they would want, and they may feel embarrassed about that. So if we have them off to the side, it kind of deters that embarrassment. So what I typically do is, now many of your customers we talked about in last week's class, if we have them do the pre-profile on our personal website, we don't necessarily have to have them fill out the profile card, but you certainly can, and nonetheless, like when people come, if you're waiting to get started, maybe everybody isn't there, it kind of gives them something to do. And then throughout the class, I think we talked about having them write on the back kind of what their wish list was. I'll often write what color foundation they got, what color lip gloss, because a week from now, I'm not going to remember. Anyway, so when they come to close with me, if they fill this out, I take a look at it, and in particular, if they haven't gone on my website and pre-registered, I want to make sure I can read everything. I've learned from experience, there's been times I've gotten home and I can't quite read a phone number, or I can't quite read the email address, and then I'm having to backtrack, and it takes time. So I go through that and make sure that that's legible to me. certainly is to them, but maybe not to you. Okay. Now, what I would start with is, as you sit down with them after that, is to say to them, if money were no object, what would you like to start with today? So it's sort of like, what's their wish? What's their fantasy about what they want to purchase from Mary Kay? Okay? And a lot of them, you know, you having showed them the travel roll-up bag, are going to say that. Well, I would take the travel roll-up bag. Somebody else is going to pay for it. That's what I want. Okay? So, with that, remember, don't prejudge people about what they can buy. And the other thing is, it is not our place to tell people what they can or can't. What I mean by that is, I've had classes, parties, actually individual facials too, whereas I'm visiting with a person, I started to get the idea in my mind that they're not going to be able to afford anything. Fortunately, I kept my mouth shut, because I've had people that I thought that of that went ahead and bought the repair set. Whipped up credit card, $205 right there. Okay. And then we have to remember that a lot of these women, for what they feel is important, they'll find the money. These are women a lot of times who every 2 weeks are getting their nails done. Every 4 to 6 weeks they're getting their hair done, you know, colored, highlighted. You know, people have memberships to health clubs or exercise classes. So if there's something that they value, they do come up with the money for it. And then after you've asked the question about what would they prefer to get, or if money were no object, you know, what would they want to take home with them today? Then the next question can be, because typically money can be an issue, which set are you most comfortable taking home with you today? Okay. And then what that does is it gives them permission to purchase, you know, what they're comfortable with. The second thing that it does is it tells you what they want, what they desire, and what they're able to get. So there's that gap in between. So then you can go through in a few minutes once they've decided, and then talk about the second appointment, and how if they share that with their friends or with their relatives, how they're going to be able to get what's in that gap, either discounted or free. So it sets them up to be, you know, another hostess. It sets up that follow-up appointment so that you're getting booked. Now, one of the things that's very important to remember is, when we're closing the facial, closing the class, we always want to sell first, so we get the sale. We book next, as we just talked about, and then recruit is always our third priority, you know, at that class, because again, most people take layering. Some of the rationale behind that is if I have someone here and they said they wanted the travel roll-up bag, okay, but they're thinking about maybe signing up for Mary Kay, maybe not sure. One of the things that I have learned to do is not to say, well, let's just wait till you sign up and then you can get it, you know, at half price. So you don't get the sale that night, and meanwhile they go home and there's somebody who's a naysayer who thinks it's a bad idea, or they decide to survey all their friends. I've seen that on Facebook many times. Hey, if I were going to sell blah, 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 who would buy from me? Well, you know, that's not a good idea. So what you want to do is get that sale first. That way, say, if your booking falls through or postpones, you still have the sale from that day. If it's somebody who thought they were interested in Mary Kay, but they never end up recruiting, you don't end up losing that sale again, and you've made a customer out of them. Okay. Then once you have done their order, and I think that it's smart, I take with me to the skincare classes several of the travel roll-up bags, so at least I can get them the majority of the products that they would typically buy from me right there, so they have that immediate satisfaction. And it's just an easy way, you know, to carry them in your car. You could have, you know, one of the shipping boxes, and you could fit probably, like I said, checked it, a bigger box, I would envision that about 6 of them would fit in there filled. So if I know that I'm having a skincare class and there's like 4 ladies, I probably would take 6 roll-up bags just to make sure I have enough. You can have those pre-filled. So then once I've done that and given them their product, then the next thing we want to do, and let's see, let me go to our shared screen again. And, okay, so you can see that okay, Ann, the hostess
Yes.
awards, and I know you have that. So, and again, it's okay to have this print out and to go over with them. And even, you could have several if you wanted to, so when you book them for that second appointment, you know, they might make some notes on there, or you might make some notes on there, and then you could go ahead and send that home with them. So what we do first and foremost is, so if someone books a class, and we always wait till they actually hold it before we give them their rewards, of course. So if they book a second appointment or a class and they have 2 women or more who are over 18 and who do not have a current Mary Kay consultant, then they're able to purchase $75 worth of product for $35. Okay, so that's a win for her for doing that second appointment. Okay, if she gets 2 people there, okay, doesn't matter if they buy anything or not. Okay, she's going to get something, so that's going to make it worth it to her. Okay, and then we also have over here, we talked about before again, for people to pre-register on your website, so you get all their information in, you can pre-profile them. Your hostess is going to get a free gift, and then I usually will give the guests a little something too, like maybe a mini mascara for doing that pre-register. Okay, and then you can earn up to 20% in free products, and it just outlines that all here. So if you have a skincare class and your total sales are $200, okay, if no one else books, your hostess is going to get $20 in credit. If someone books their follow-up facial right there, okay, then she's going to get 30. So this just outlines everything there, okay? And then you can give 2 bonus booking gifts. If you have 250 in sales, 2 bookings, and 2 career chats. If you do basically 2, 2, and 2. Okay. So again, I will send out this sheet, and I will send out a little bit of an outline for tonight. I'll go through quickly with what we reviewed. And then that travel roll-up sheet, just to make sure everybody has that too. So basically, that's how you close. It's not rocket science, but I think the key is kind of following those steps and doing that consistently, because that will get you your sales. It'll get you your second booking, and then it's going to set up with that layering so that there's going to be a certain percentage of people that recruit. Do you have questions on any of that, Ann?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop the recording here.